Hello, Data 101 people. So this is a video that's part of Lab 4. There is a primary video I made sort of very simply. A little bit more about APIs is like a pre-lab video. So what we are going to do, I know you're staring at my video editor right now. What we're going to do is we're going to look at the script, the instructor script that I kind of sort of it's a hash between ChatGPT and then I'm rewriting it and recommenting it. I'll give you this. So I'm going to give you this demo script and I'm giving you the lab. Now, honestly, this lab is basically next to no work for you. I mean, seriously, you're basically just running stuff. But it's definitely worth the time to do this. For this particular stuff, it would be unreasonable to expect you to actually write the code from scratch, I think. But it's code on what we're going to do is we're going to get in R and we're going to use R to write these application program interfaces and be able to go out on the internet and fetch data using them. And at least at a basic level, explain how this works. Am I an expert on this? No. They sort of didn't have this when I was a kid and actually did a lot of analytical work. I did mostly like SQL Server stuff, local servers, like connecting to them. So this is how a lot of data, particularly like retail data and sales data, I mean, the APIs kind of act as waiters between like the person wanting the data, which would be you, and then some kind of back-end system, and they basically sort of go out and harvest data. I mean, they're not really AI agents, they're just really computer code, but they go out and they harvest data for you, okay? So this little script demonstrates how to get data from the internet using an API. Specifically, there's this site called CatFact Ninja. Why are we using like a fictional sort of? It is a real site. You know, to use a real API, like we don't have the ability to like get it what's called an API key to like. I'm not gonna like crack into like some proprietary database for this. I can like as a professor on Canvas, I actually figured out how to like get an API so that I didn't have to like. I don't use this on your site, but I could. If I want to make things more automated, I get what's called an API key, and I could go remotely and like pull information in and out of Canvas, which is what if you use like MyMathLab or something, that's what those things do. Anyway, so back in R. So as discussed in our intro, R, learning about packages, which are the little, basically they're kind of like apps for R. And you need to install those. Installing them you only need to do once. Once you install them, as long as you're on the same device with the same paths. Obviously, if you go to another computer, that's it's not true. So you're basically going to pull these packages down from the R site that are written for a specific task, including this first one here, which is a package called HTTR. I don't know exactly what that stands for. Hypertext Transfer, I think. I don't know that. I just made that up, so be careful. And so you're going to pull this package, which lets you send the request. Basically, it's basically just web kind of stuff. And then the other one is called JSON Lite, which converts what's called JSON files. These are the kind of like super marked up files, so I like to think of JSON files. They're not XML, but they're very, very tagged data. And so you're going to install these two packages. That just pulls them off the internet, loads them on your local computer. Then what you're going to do is load them, which means it's loading them into the local R system to run this time. This step you have to do every single time you use your packages. This step, once it's done, it's done. Okay? So every time you ever use your code, this is going to be in your code. But these guys, like I know the tidyverse is on my computer and I don't load it. I installed it once 2 years ago and it's still here. So that's the difference between install and load, okay? The rest of this, I wouldn't expect to be able to write this, but what we're going to do is we're actually going to write code that's going to go out to the site and it's going to get a random cat fact. I don't know exactly how this works. I just know that we're writing this. This function here is part of one of these packages. I'm assuming it's the HTTR package. And we're going to store it in response, and we're going to go out on the internet and get stuff. So let's run this. And we get this. Now, you can do this print response. You can also just hover over response and run it, and it will show me this. I believe this is going to be absolutely identical. Yes. So what is this? And the answer is I don't entirely know. Well, this is basically the metadata, which says that this is the date. I try to keep a week or so ahead of you guys. It's January 23rd. The status 200 means success. That means that you connected. I don't know exactly what other status codes mean, but they don't work if you didn't write. Content type means we're getting JSON data, and the size is just very, very small. So that's what that's doing. Next, we're going to actually extract data from the response. This is your metadata. It's not actually what we're really looking for. So we're going to use this code. We're going to convert the response and do what's called content. This, I believe, is a function within, I'm just kind of making things up, but I believe that this is a function in package JSON. Oh, it's an HTTR, but it's going to extract. So you can go over here and look up what these functions are actually doing. This stuff, I mean, I don't know that much about this stuff because this is not entirely data analytics. It's about how to get and retrieve data using sort of what a lot of people use. There is another, like, that's why we do have a database class. Right now it's a little in transition because they set up kind of like a SQL Server class 7-8 years ago, right before I actually came here. I'm going to reinvent that and hopefully work with the person that's doing like more networking stuff and create like a cloud data retrieval kind of class doing this. The actual data retrieval is not an essential function of analytics, but I do want to go through this because I do want you to know about APIs and at least be able to sort of run a basic one. So this lab just kind of like exposes you to like what an API is and how it works. Anyway, so we actually get the response and then we got to like dissect it out and pull the actual data from the response object. Okay. So this is what this function content is doing. Okay. And you could read more about the details in the R code. Again, you know, this is a little more technical than we want to do as analysts. We just want to be able to use these things. So raw data, I'm going to extract content into raw data. And it says no encoding. This is not an error, even though it's in red. Character encoding, they do in different types. If you've ever studied this, I studied it a long time ago. This UTF-8, I think, is the most common. Like it's literally how characters are encoded. And then we're going to print the raw data, and let's see what this looks like. Okay. So what we have here is, this is kind of unnecessary. The way that it's initially formatted is a fact, and then a cat almost never meows at another cat. You're going to get different ones every time you run this. I don't know how many there are, but like this cat. We're using these nice people. This is intentionally, the purpose of the site, by the way, is to test APIs. Like this is some kind of like, these nice people set up this cat fact thing so that people could learn how to run APIs, I think. So this is what the actual cat fact that we pulled is. It has a length of 116. I believe that's the character length of this. And then the actual cat fact. Almost never meows. Cats will typically spit, purr, and hiss at other cats. Sweeties, huh? So we have successfully, and it's really kind of that simple. We loaded some packages. We used this get function. We stored it in a response, and then we extracted the content from the response from there. And then we've managed to pull some data using an API off the internet. So it's a pretty simple process overall. Obviously, you know, if you're doing real analysis, you're pulling tons of data usually. And then we have convert the JSON to R. This is basically a JSON file. It's got like, this is like the tag thing. Java, not Java. I forgot what JSON stands for. Oh well. But this is basically like you have two components of this. You have the fact and the length. And then it's going to convert this to R data. Now, the purpose of this is if you're working with the data in R, you have to get it. This is going to be a list format. You want to actually get it into an R data object so that you could work with it and do an analysis with it in R. That's what this is doing. And so the clean data, again, you have the fact extracted. This is an R form, and then the length. So that's just sort of manipulating the form so you could use it in R. And then we have, within the cat data, you have fact, and length. And if you wanted just to look at the cat fact, you do cat data fact, and it will just give you this. Likewise, you can just do cat data length and just get that. Okay. And that's basically it. And then a little extra section on the data from each thing. The raw response was this. So this is the raw response. It actually doesn't really give, you have to actually extract the content out. And then this extracts the content in the JSON format. Okay. This is the JSON format. And then if you're working in R and you want to actually have clean R data, you want to actually pull it out again. You can pull out the whole data, which is this, or just the fact, or just the length. Okay. Okay. So it's just a simple example. I'll give you this code. I'm not going to actually give you the code in here because I think it might actually be basically the same thing. You're not going to get the same fact though. So even though you're going to run essentially the same code, you're not going to get the same fact. So you're going to go and run this, and it's a really easy assignment, but it's worth doing because I do want you to just get your hands dirty and run an API. I mean, that's all I'm doing. I'm not really an expert in this either, but I find it helpful to go through and actually, as opposed to just not really knowing what an API is, it's really just, packages are written into R that can perform the task of going on the internet and getting data for you, and then reformatting it in a usable format so you can do analysis in R. So you're just going to run this, and all I'm asking is that you copy and paste your responses in here and then turn it in as Lab 4. So it's really simple. And I'm going to give you the Word doc. This is what you're going to submit. You're going to paste stuff in your Word doc. Someday I'll create fancier Canvas assignments, but at least we have something to do. And then also, I'm going to give you the sample code. And then, you can either, I would take these and paste them into a new R thing. You should, so let's actually go over that. So when you're in R, you go new, and then you want to go new file, R script. R does a whole bunch of other things. Like I use a lot of other things. I mean, I shouldn't say R because this is actually POSIT. You can actually run a bunch of other languages in here, including Python and SQL and other stuff. So we want to go new file, R script, okay? And so part of a little bit of the task here for you is, and then this is going to be your script, and you should be okay either copy pasting from here, or going in here and doing this, and following the directions and copying from here. So you should be able to produce an R script. I mean, the code's basically written for you, so that's not too bad. You should also maybe put a little comment in with your name. You don't really have to on Canvas. There's only there's 16. It's not a tiny class. And do that. But then when you finish this, you want to go File, Save As, and then save it somewhere for you. I didn't ask you to turn this code in. I think I will on some assignments, but I didn't ask you to turn this code in. And then save it somewhere like my Lab 4, whatever. It's where you know where it is. I didn't ask you to upload this code, so I just asked you to. What I asked you to do is run these, and then type your results in. So you're going to run this, and then you're going to type your cat fact from your R output here. You're going to get different. Don't just copy the sample ones because there's an infinite number of. You're going to get a different one, so everybody's is going to look different because you're going to get different cat facts. And then this one I think works. Let me actually. I'm going to run this one because it's from another site. I tested this the other day, and I can't remember whether it worked or not. I think it did. Because I don't want to give you something that didn't work. That's not very nice of me, is it? Okay. So we have this. This is a random quote one. I think it worked the other day. I have to fix this. I'm going to give you another one, but it's not going to be the site. But you'll basically get. I'm going to fix this because I had this issue the other day where it didn't, something's old about this. But you're going to have 3 exercises and run them, and then copy them in here, and then turn this in, and that's going to be your lab 4. Don't worry, I'll fix this for you. All right, thanks.